Want to start a tab?
Coming right up. I need another bottle over here. Thanks.
That's why you have to grow one.
No.
He was asleep. Oh, hey, look, we've got our guest here. That's crazy. It's almost like I hit record.
Well, welcome to the Bakerboys.
Bakerboys.
The Bakerboys.
Brought to you by us.
The Baker.
We brought ourselves here. We didn't get anyone else to do it.
You know what would be funny is if suddenly, like, the audience realizes that it's just one person and he's playing as him, like me, myself, and I. He's just playing those three different roles and he's just altering his voice.
It could happen.
You never know.
It's been done before.
It just doesn't become realistic when you've got like this, like all voices talking at once.
Oh, that's
Yes.
the magic of editing.
Voice overlapping is hard to do.
It really is. All right, so we're going to review a movie. We've just done Ants, believe it or not.
Yes, please believe it.
It's not like we watched this movie before deciding to watch Ants and then recorded this one right after doing the DreamWorks introduction episode.
Yeah, so Ants would have released in October.
October 2nd of the same year as this one. This one released in December.
So you knew which one was the bigger movie.
So this one's pretty much a Christmas movie in the desert.
Strange time for Christmas. Strange place.
What do you mean strange time for Christmas? We start Christmas movies the day after
I
Thanksgiving.
mean, considering this movie takes place over 400 years before
Yeah.
the birth of Jesus, so it does seem
Christmas.
a bit presumptuous.
Celebrate Christmas early.
I
4
don't
years early.
think so. Yes, this movie did come out in 1998. It's an hour and 39 minutes long, and it's a family musical.
Yep.
What do you mean family musical? That's what the genre comes up as?
That's what I found. Family
that's
musical.
interesting.
It's a good wholesome family movie. You know, you
Very
bring,
much so.
you bring the kids to it and you
bring
show
the
them.
kids. Yeah.
This is what could happen.
Yep, let's sing along to the plagues and playing with the bad boys now.
The big
Big
boys.
boys.
What movie are you thinking of?
I
Not
don't
the
know.
same movie, apparently.
It's a very different
Words
movie.
came out of my mouth.
Very different.
It's-
Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do?
I can see it now.
Just a very
Martin Short and Steve Martin singing that song.
remix of that song. But just starting with the movie poster, depending on the poster you look at,
You get chariots.
It really is. And yeah,
I
okay.
think the one I like the best is the one more reminiscent of theater posters. You get the outline of presumably Moses' head with a horse and chariot overlooking pyramids. And I like the outline. It's reminiscent of Anastasia, you know, the way she's looking at this great big door that's opening up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it leaves the movie more open. I think the horse and chariot is misplaced, but I guess that might just be me because everywhere you look, it seems that you really
For
want to
some
push the horse and
reason,
chariot.
they're pushing the horse and
Indeed.
chariot, and there's only two scenes. Like, yeah, the movie like starts off with a chariot
Almost make you
race.
think it's some sort of horse racing movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but-
I was wondering if maybe they were trying to feed off of Ben-Hur, because that movie, one of the big climaxes is the chariot races. So I'm wondering, maybe they were trying to do Ben-Hur with this.
I don't think Ben-Hur was a good movie, though.
It came out before this, and between that and Ten Commandments, I don't think you had many options for your Bible movies.
Probably not.
So there was another There were other movie posters that heavily fixate on the chariots.
Yeah, so I think the one that I recall the most is the bright colored one with Moses and Ramses on the chariot race before Ramses becomes pharaoh.
Yeah, very kid friendly. Nick,
Yeah.
did you have a take on the poster?
Not really.
Not really. You're not
I would
moved by it. You're not moved to watch it. You're not moved against it. You don't have any kind of thoughts stirred up before it.
I mean,
You have to keep talking.
like not entirely. It's
there
as
must
a
be
movie
noise.
that's nostalgic for us. It's just the poster. It
Yeah, but you have to like try and put your brain in the idea that I've never seen this movie before. What's
I
this
don't know if my
poster
brain can
make
do
me
that.
think of?
Yeah, I have a hard
You know
time
what the
doing that
poster
too.
really makes me think of? Chariots. It's all you see on the poster is a chariot and
Fair
people
enough.
riding it.
See, I would say the one that I'm used to, the colorful one, is definitely more prone towards kids, whereas the one that Chris likes definitely portrays a better depiction of what to expect in the movie, with the exception of Moses on the freaking chariot. They ought to had him with
Yeah, I thought they would have had
Zephora
him with the staff,
and
just
the
standing
staff.
up there ready to walk into Egypt and mess things up.
Yeah. Like things are going to hit the fan real quick here.
But I guess that takes us to the trailer, which starts off by showing off the music. I think it's literally playing some of the music in the movie.
It does play a lot of the music from the movie with the actual songs and lyrics and vocals that you'll hear, along with,
The music for the
narrative.
end credits.
well, okay, so it does the
They had that in
narration.
there. Yeah,
It depicts some
very
parts.
vague here and there.
It- I think the trailer keeps it light. It doesn't go as heavy as to what the actual movie does, but they also throw in the very end credits because I think they were trying to reel people in, like, hey, we've got the
Yeah, they had some big names in there for some of the people who made songs specifically for the end credits. They're like, this person's in there and that person's in there, and I can't tell you which they are because I didn't care enough.
Oddly enough, no, we didn't care enough about it either.
What was it,
and I
like You
think
Boys
those
was
were
one of
only-
them?
I thought it was Boys to Men.
Don't think it was them. I think it was just You Boys, but I can't
No,
remember.
that can't be it.
It showed off some of the more impressive animated feats in the movie. Some of the iconic scenes, like the Red Sea splitting and
Yep.
some shots of the 10 plagues. The narration, I think, immediately dates it for the 90s. Just the way they have that overtones discussing what the story plot is and the challenges that our hero protagonist will be facing. It's like very 90s. I didn't get that kind of narration for the Land Before Time or the American Tale from the 80s. And I don't think you get trailers like this in the 2000s or 2010s either.
All right, so what we've got is primarily Hans Zimmer, but I'm pretty sure I Will Get There, an a cappella song played by Boys to Men, was one of the end credit songs. And I personally always prefer to just stop the movie right as the credits are coming up, so that way we don't hear those, because those are just,
It sounds off.
it does
little.
not
It does
match.
not end cap your movie properly.
Not
It's like
really.
I would prefer to use AI to redo the end credits.
Yeah, you get slid right into R&B, and it's like,
Yeah,
this
it's like,
feels
it
off.
It doesn't work. So the setting of the movie is
Source
Can you guys guess it?
material is
oh
the source material for this movie was Exodus,
yeah,
straight from the Bible. So
that's
it's
just
Moses' story,
different from the setting.
settings in Egypt,
Yeah,
ancient Egypt.
not
Ancient
Africa.
Egypt.
It's not modern Egypt.
Yeah, ancient Egypt during the 19th dynasty. If you're wondering.
All right. So we got a time.
Story mainly takes place in the Egyptian capital. Somebody else say the word.
Capital.
Thank you. Featuring monumental architecture along the Nile River, as well as the desert landscapes of Midian, where Moses lives as a shepherd.
All right, so I guess that takes us right into the movie. So should we rock, paper, and scissors for a summary, or
We're doing a summary.
Or are we gonna beat
I
by
just
beat
know
it?
this one's going to probably be a beat by beat. Though, I mean, we could probably do a beat by beat after discussing production, stuff like that, if we wanted to.
Yeah, do productions first.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Different in this movie run because this was, I mean, I would almost say we could just go off with where we put this movie in our tiered list, but I don't know what you guys want to do.
I'll start with productions.
Okay.
So Katzenberg previously oversaw animation at Disney, and he wanted DreamWorks to launch its animation division with a serious project rather than a typical family comedy. Obviously, Ants came out first, but this one was pretty close on its heels. So the source material, being Exodus, was deliberately chosen to differentiate DreamWorks from Disney. You know, Disney never would have touched a story like this.
Nope.
Not at all.
Filmmakers consulted hundreds of religious scholars and leaders, you know, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Yeah,
I thought I saw the number at like 600.
Yeah, they also organized early screenings for religious groups and incorporated feedback into the revisions. I would be curious as to what specifically those were. Like, I don't know. But it was directed by Brenda Chapman, Steve Hickner, and Simon Wells. They faced challenges in balancing historical narrative, religious sensitivity, and character-driven storytelling. They had around 350 to 600 artists and technicians, making it one of the largest animation teams at the time. The animation combined traditional hand-drawn techniques with early CGI. The CGI was used more for the crowds and environmental effects, building monuments, and also parting of the Red Sea. The character animation remained hand-drawn.
Yeah, there were for me, there were just scenes in there that you could really tell were CGI'd and they were not that well done. Like, I kind of wish.
I thought they were pretty well done considering we came out of Don Bluth and you had the CGI segments in Anastasia and Thumbelina, which do not look very good.
Those ones were bad. I guess compared to those, it was better. But I'm like, the scenes with the basket at the beginning was
those were a little
not
weird.
That one is mainly, I think, my major like bad takeaway from the movie. Like, that's the only irk I have with it.
For the music and sound, the score was composed by Hans Zimmer, who recorded it entirely from London.
Really?
And before this movie, he'd worked on The Lion King, obviously still just doing the score, but I think that might have been his major credit at the time, was just The Lion King.
I'd be curious as to how much of the
Lion
orchestra
King was his major credit.
I think so, because like John Williams did Star Wars, so
Yeah. I'm curious as to how many of those orchestras are done out of London.
I don't think it happened. Well, maybe at the time it did. So the songs are written by Stefan Schwartz. When You Believe won the best original song in '99. So talking about the budget and box office, it had a budget of $70 million, which accounting for inflation today would be $135 million. And then it grossed worldwide $218.6 million. And then that with inflation becomes $422 million.
Yeah, so I think this movie kind of blows all of our previous movies out of the water.
Oh, yeah, it definitely did better than Anastasia.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much Anastasia got? Because wasn't that only like 100, or was that 80 million it got?
No. Anastasia was definitely 100. I just don't recall the exact number. And for finding it is...
That's okay.
It was 140 million for Anastasia.
Okay.
And Prince of Egypt had.
And Prince of Egypt was 218 million.
Yep.
And Anastasia came out in 1997. So a year later, they're already being blown out by an additional 100 million.
Yeah. Almost an additional 100 million. But that 1 to 2 definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, so it released December 18th in theaters. It was in theaters for about 45 months. At the box office, at the theaters, there was a movie, You've Got Mail, which was a rom-com with Tom Hanks. Stepmom, which was a family drama. A Bug's Life, which was the direct competitor. It was released in November and still going strong. Enemy of the State, which was action thriller. The Rugrats movie was in theaters around this time.
Rugrats movie?
Yeah.
That's Disney, right?
Nickelodeon.
How many feature-length films did Nickelodeon do?
I can think of 4, but I don't know if all of those released in theaters. So Patch Adams with Robin Williams was also in theaters. The Faculty, which was a young adult audience, and then The Thin Red Line was also out. The top movies was You've Got Mail, and second was A Bug's Life, and then third was Prince of Egypt. So there were pretty positive audience reviews. Critics were positive, but not enthusiastic. Typical praise was for the animation, the visual scale, the music, score, and the ambition and tone. But then criticisms, they cited emotional distance, tone and accessibility, because younger audiences wouldn't have connected with it as well.
Oh,
And then
wow.
narrative constraints, trying to work within the limitations of what they were trying to... Yeah, I mean, it's Exodus.
Wow.
Nick, did you have any notes?
What I had was that the directors wanted to look inspired by Egyptian art, monumental architecture, and epic live-action films. It was their first traditionally animated feature. I don't know if that was something that you...
I mean, Ants would have come before this,
Oh,
but they would have been working on both of them at the same time. So it's not like they had a huge catalog before making this movie.
Yeah, oh dear.
Do you have the actors or something else?
Yeah, I got the actor stuff. Some actors.
What was your oh dear moment there?
I'm just looking at all my stuff.
Kind of comes in a jumble, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Chris, you have anything else while Nick looks things up or reads off or
Well,
something?
I mean, we can
to
talk
keep
about
us
the
talking?
actors. Moses and God was both voiced by Val Kilmer.
What was his breakout role? Because
His-
you're in charge of that.
His breakout role was Top Gun in 1986, so he was Iceman in that movie. They were able to do God's voice with a dude named Lon Bender. He helped manipulate the voice, so he was working on the technical aspects.
Okay.
Miriam was voiced by Sandra Bullock. She got her breakout role with a movie called Speed in 1994. Ramses was voiced by Ralph Fiennes. He got his breakout role in Schindler's List in 1993. Hotep, who was Steve Martin, he got his breakout role with The Jerk in 1979. Hoy, which was Martin Short, he got his breakout role in SNL 1984 to 1985, so that was their 10th season. Aaron was voiced by Jeff Goldblum. He got his breakout role in The Fly, 1986. So kind of an interesting role because that was a serious kind of a horror movie. And then Pharaoh was voiced by Patrick Stewart. He got his breakout role in Star Trek Next Generation, which came out in 1987, but he would have had more of his breakout roles in a theater. Like he got his start in theater. Zipporah was voiced by Michelle Pfeiffer, who got her breakout role in Scarface 1983.
Nick, what you got?
Yeah, for the actors that Chris had named off, we some of them we haven't really seen them in a whole lot of stuff.
Like Sandra Bullock's name sounds familiar, and I'm not entirely sure where we would have seen her from. I believe she's in the
She's
TV
in The
show.
Blind Side.
Oh, is she the mother?
I
Or
don't
she's-
know.
she
the
might be somebody else.
character that I found her under was Lei and Tuhoy.
No
I think
idea.
that's
I think Sandra Bullock's the mother in George Lopez, the TV series.
she's also in Bullet Train.
Man, I
Really?
just don't know.
Yeah. Plays the character Maria.
I mean, we know Val Kilmer as Batman.
Oh, yeah. That is where he's from, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Batman
1994.
Forever.
So
Wasn't he
then,
in that other movie? What was it called? Real Geniuses?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays like a very young kid in that one. He's very young in that one.
Yeah. At least I think so.
Ralph Fiennes, Chris, actually played Alfred Pennyworth in the Lego Batman movie.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah, he's also, I mean, he's in a lot.
Yep, he's Lord Voldemort in the Harry Potter series. At
Zeph-
least in like the later series.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer plays Zipporah. Never knew how to spell that name. Starts with a T.
Yeah,
I didn't have to
it was when I was looking at her stuff, it did not look like she was in a whole lot of stuff.
Not that we have seen her in.
No.
I don't know. This movie's just got a lot of names. Danny Glover plays Lethal Weapon.
Yep.
Patrick Stewart plays Seti, Pharaoh, the first one that we see. Seen him in Star Trek.
Helen
I think
Mirren.
for me, I only know Patrick Stewart as Mr. X from
Yep.
X-Men.
And yeah, there's that too.
Would have known Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park,
Yep.
and that would be it. No, wait. Also Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Would know him from Independence Day before Jurassic Park.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
We really know
Those
them
play-
from the
I
Three
guess
Amigos.
Sergeant Bilko and
Oh, yeah,
Three
Sergeant Bilko.
Amigos.
Three Amigos.
Yeah. But you guys might also know Martin Short from other things to him, but I'm trying to think of what else. Nick, you keep going.
Helen Mirren, who played the Queen, she is Alma Reville Hitchcock in the movie Hitchcock.
His wife?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Long time in between those two movies.
She also plays Dean Hardscrabble from Monsters University.
The Dean.
Yep.
Kind of the antagonist of the movie. Got any others?
Not really. That about hits all my info I found on.
Yeah, that might be it. I can't pull him up, Martin Short, right now, so I don't know what else you guys would have seen him in. I know he voices in quite a bit. So now we can do the beat by beat of the movie. So at this point, you'll hit spoilers.
Indeed.
Which I don't know. We might not do like a full beat by beat, but we might do like a song by song.
Yeah, which takes us to the start of the movie.
The very start with the first song, "Deliver Us."
Yeah, pretty heavy beat to draw you into the movie on. You get a lot of surreal visuals watching the Hebrews being under their oppression, and you got the song overlapping "Deliver Us."
Very heavy stuff.
And it kind of cuts in between the immediate slaves building the pyramids to the Hebrews taking their children and trying to hide them as they're being hunted out by the Egyptians. Moses, of course, gets set aside into a basket. And, the Bible doesn't really go into any detail about his time in the basket.
Nope.
So this was an excellent opportunity to show you how dangerous it was.
It was. You had the hippos
And alligators.
The CGI basket alone was probably terrifying
And his
too.
poor sister who was following it, who knows how many heart attacks she had just watching the basket go down the river.
Yeah, just these boats coming by about to ram it.
Not only that, but then you had the oars from the boats too, or
Yeah, about to
in
just-
between.
Dunk it into a Caesar salad right there.
Oh
But
yeah,
manages to make it safe and sound into the Pharaoh's palace, where it gets picked up by the.
hold on. We still have to talk about the song "Deliver Us," because in the song it doesn't just speak English throughout the whole thing. We get some language changes where they sing in Hebrew, and I've got a translation for that part in Hebrew where
do you now?
yeah. So I would try to sing in Hebrew, but I would butcher it. So instead, I'll just read the English translation where it reads, "My good and tender son, don't be frightened and don't be scared."
Yeah, the lyrics are definitely laced with a lot of meaningful messaging in them.
Very much so.
They don't waste any of the lines.
They do not, especially in this whole verse here. Like it goes in Hebrew and then it switches over to English where they're reading, "My son, I have nothing I can give, but this chance that you may live. I pray we'll meet again if he will deliver us," and then goes into the slave's chorus singing. So very well done. I really enjoyed the song "Deliver Us."
It's very bombastic opening note that I think you would get in the traditional theater.
Yeah.
The directors approached it as they wanted to make it a historical epic.
I mean, I'm really torn between, I would say I would go see this movie in theaters, but I also just refuse to think theaters are worth it.
Well, you never know now, do you?
It's really difficult because, I would expect the sound to be really good and to be very
It's
loud.
like all you're really
but
going
it's
to
like,
the theaters for.
Would it be
anymore
that
is
loud?
what, for the opportunity to be able to bring in your own food? Who was
No,
the
just to
comedian who
hear
said they could bring
the-
in like a whole grill or something?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Not a grill, like a skillet or something. Just cook their food right there, or maybe that was like my own thoughts. I don't know.
So we do see Moses gets taken in by the Pharaoh's house.
Yeah,
I think we see Miriam actually go in with them to help care for Moses. And then we get a time skip to...
hold on. Which one is Miriam?
Miriam is Moses' sister.
She does not go into the palace.
She doesn't?
No,
I thought I saw her go in with him.
no. Saw her. She was watching him get taken away, but that was somebody else.
You might be right.
Like a different servant or something, or that was Ramses himself. That's probably who you're watching, join the queen go in.
All right. So then we get a time skip to the the
Chariot
chief
race.
of all of the advertising. We watched the second trailer, which was the DVD release, and it was all chariot racing.
All chariot racing.
So crazy how they emphasize this amongst the entire movie.
That was
They emphasize
literally
this.
all the DVD release trailer was. It was all chariot racing. It's like, they've seen the 10 plagues already. They've seen the sea splitting already. You know what they haven't seen? The chariot race. How long is that sequence? 7 minutes. We can cram like 3 of it into this 3-minute trailer.
I don't know how long that sequence is. We didn't check.
I don't know. But you do get Moses, who's this irresponsible prince of Egypt, carefree, and he's there egging Ramesses on the whole time. They make a huge mess of stuff. They busting
break
things.
the nose.
Yeah, they ruin the project, and then Ramesses gets chewed out by the pharaoh, his father.
Yeah, I do enjoy like the little bickering because they really make you feel like Moses and Ramses, like they grew up as brothers.
Yeah,
so
you
you've
get
got
that
constant, and then you've got, I mean, they do really good in showing that like Ramses during that scene where he's like, they're like being talked down to by Pharaoh. It's like, well, you're expected to do better. You're the firstborn. And then there's this one over here who's just doing whatever he wants.
He's got no pressure on him.
Like, yeah, no pressure at all. It's like, you're going to become Pharaoh. I can do whatever I want. Like, I'm going to fill up this bag of whatever wine or whatever they
it's like
had.
wine
like
and
this.
just dunking it on the
Drop it right onto
Steve Martin and
Steve
Martin Short.
Short. Hepte and Hoy. So I'm pretty sure literally they say, oh, look at my new things. Like, don't even describe what it is. It's like, not my earrings, not my robe or anything. It's just, look at my new things. Ramses, you better get down here and apologize. So I think like later on in the movie, I was questioning as to like how the humor was hitting, but it was pretty good. It's funny.
Yeah, they do keep it pretty well reserved. This is one of the lighter moments in the movie.
Yeah.
Yep. It leads me to wonder if that's why the chariot race gets so promoted in the trailers, because it's like the height of their relationship. After this, it's like it just goes downhill.
Yeah, you do appreciate that they set it up this way, so that way you can appreciate it later in the movie when it's strained and it's really a struggle for them. I think the relationship they have with the pharaoh, Ramesses' father, is also pretty well set up. You know, he's not just the evil tyrant. It's like, yeah, he's completely devoid of any moral feeling, because eventually Moses does find out about his heritage, which brings us to the next song, All I've Ever Wanted, when he runs into Miriam and Aaron out in the city, and they're like, no, Moses, you are our brother. You're not an Egyptian. And he's rejecting it, but then he's struggling with it. And you get the song, All I've Ever Wanted, which is
Not
Kind of.
sang by Val Kilmer.
no, and
If
you also
you were wondering.
you don't see Moses' character sing it.
It's more of
But-
an internal monologue, and I found it pretty interesting to hear those lyrics reprised in the 10 Plague song.
It does get reprised.
Yeah.
He gets his song, and then he ends up falling asleep.
Yeah.
Where you get the dream sequence.
Dream sequence.
It's very
Kind of,
interesting animation, because it's literally just the wall art, the hieroglyphics, and Moses is one of them, and he's on the run. He's watching basically infanticide happen. Good quality content for your children's movie. The Egyptians are taking all the Hebrew babies and they're tossing them. And you see Moses kind of toss along with them, and you see the screen just blacking around him, and his eyes the last thing that goes dark before Moses wakes up, and he's got his back against the wall where all the Hebrew babies are being tossed into a pit of alligators. And that's when Pharaoh finds him there, and he's like, well, you do things for the greater good. And you see them embrace briefly before Pharaoh says, they are only slaves. And then that's when Moses breaks away, and he's like, you can't turn a blind eye anymore.
No.
And in the next scene, when he's out with Ramses, checking out his new work project, and one of the slaves are being punished. Moses ends up killing the Egyptian, and then he goes running, and Ramesses stops him, and he's trying to tell him, he's like, I can change it. It doesn't have to be this way. But Moses insists on leaving. So you get another montage, a series of scenes of Moses walking in the desert, which are pretty well drawn.
It's kind of a heartbreaking moment seeing Moses run away from Ramses like that.
So you did mention Moses and the accidental death, right?
Yeah, murdering the Egyptian.
Okay, because in my mind, I was not paying attention. I saw the next song coming up, and I'm like, oh, my brain went blocking everything out of my ears. I didn't hear anything. It just started singing the song in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Moses,
after a good time, but Moses traveling alone, he reaches a new country. He saves these young girls from some bandits. And then he gets brought in.
It's weird because that scene, like you think they're bandits and stuff like that, and they're taking stuff, but at the same time, also looks like they're just trying to get water.
Yeah, you don't really
it's
know
a mix.
what
Like you don't know
doing.
what's going on, and
Which is
then
fine.
suddenly
I
they
don't
have
think-
to chase after their camels that are fleeing.
Yeah, I don't think he needed much more than that. But he ends up meeting Jethro and tribe of the.
Well, he ends up meeting Zephora, who he had kind of let go because the Egyptian
kind of helped her
Brought into
escape.
Egypt before.
Yeah, they brought her in as a slave, and then she flees, escapes. He catches her, kind of, and then kind of lets her go. She leaves, and then sees her again, and then this is where they kind of go through a new song that has it's also its own montage.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a pick me up from Moses, just plodding along and moping after Egypt. The song Through Heaven's Eyes,
Which is my favorite song in this entire movie.
yeah, another good song to help turn Moses' eyes, like leaving Egypt and moving on and taking on the role as a shepherd and living in Midian.
Yep.
And so after that montage, you get the moment where one of his sheep, they run off. Moses has to go and follow it, stumbles into this cave with a burning bush. And this is where you get like the motif for God in the movie, this kind of an eerie, otherworldly motif that plays. And every time it plays, you know God is talking to Moses. Even if you don't immediately hear his voice, you get this moment.
He's there.
Yeah, you get that moment when Moses is stepping into the river and the guards are coming to him. And you hear that song, and you just know God is telling Moses, extend your staff forwards, and then the river starts to turn to blood.
Yeah.
So it's a good motif to get in there.
Oh yeah. So then they move from like
God
seeing
tells
that-
Moses what he's got to go and do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a mix between like when God's telling Moses, you have to go and do this. And Moses is like, no, I don't want to. Send someone else. It can't be me. And you see the bush flares up. You get a little bit of that anger coming through.
Yeah.
So you do get some lines straight from the Bible in there, like who made man's mouth?
Yep.
So it's not absent from that. But Moses ends up having to go back to Egypt.
Yeah.
You get some serious scenes and another montage sequence of him having to travel back to face his past.
Yeah, traveling, like he goes, talks with Zephora and Moses. I mean, like you don't hear anything. I think it's just like subtle music in the background as he's just talking. It's like, I just met God. It was a burning bush. And then Zephora is like, Moses, I think you've been burning some bush.
yeah. He's got to have some Jim Gaffigan human in
Yeah,
there.
gotta throw that in. Couldn't help myself.
Yeah. Gets back to Egypt.
So yeah, you've got the travel sequence where it's like you still have all the Hebrews are in slavery. They're being treated poorly. I mean, you got that sequence where it's like the old guy's like just slowly stomping in the mud, and you just see his face, and it's just all sad and melancholic. And then you get Moses walking right into, like, gets to Egypt, walks right into the palace to see Ramses. They're having their own little party or whatnot. And then
and then
next song.
Moses asks for his people to be set free, and then Ramses is telling his
they embrace each other, so you get
it
a hug.
is
They're
a
like it's
warm
brother,
welcome,
brother
like,
warm
comes
welcome.
back. It's
finally
like, yeah.
Moses is back from the dead, and
Like,
he's
oh,
gonna
we
be
thought you were
he's gonna
dead.
be back. You know, it's
And
gonna
then-
be great. It's gonna be just like old times. And then Moses is like, "No, you have to let my people go."
Well, Hept and Hoy come over, and they're like, we want to let you know, a reminder, this man killed somebody.
Yep.
I mean, it might have only happened like 50 years ago, because that's how long he was in the Meridian Desert.
Yeah,
But
they do
this
gloss
man
over that.
killed
Real
somebody. We just want you to remind you of the punishment.
And then
Martin Short goes, death.
Yeah, and then
son.
Ramses is like, "I'm the morning and setting sun. I decide what is."
I am Pharaoh, and I pardon Moses of any and all future crimes and whatnots. He is my brother. And then Moses is like, this can't be the same. Let my people go.
And then that's where Ramses tells his magicians to give Moses his answer, which is where
Well, Moses goes,
Behold
share,
the power of God.
yeah,
And lets the staff
let the staff
become
turn into a
snake.
snake. And then Ramses is like, Hep,
I'll
hoy.
play along.
yeah, you do get some pretty
Yeah.
good facial expressions from Ramses. It's not just all straight cardboard. It's not just all.
I will
stiff
say
face.
there
Yeah.
are some moments in Ramesses' lines where you can hear a bit of Voldemort coming through.
I mean, it's the same voice actor. So, and those movies didn't come out till later 2000s.
Yeah, it's like a good 10 years apart.
Something like that. So, if anything, you should be hearing Ramses in.
Voldemort.
Precisely.
So, you get that sequence. The song plays through. You got Steve Martin, Martin Short singing together. Don't know how that happened in the recording studio. I would have been curious to find out about that.
Yeah, they get their song playing with the big boys, which these guys are pretty amusing when you think of them as like Las Vegas magicians.
Very much.
Yep. Like
Yep.
just Peter
like they are
and Sal
not
putting
like
on
all
a
they
show.
Yep.
Especially at the end of the song when they're like, I think they love it.
Yeah, you get that little spot. It's like, yeah, yep.
Paramagicians.
So then from here, you get the scene where you were talking about the river and the blood, where
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not before
Ramses and
Ram-
Moses has
Moses-
one more confrontation before Ramses, his face hardens. He's like, no, I will not let your people go.
yep,
Inform the Israelites their work has been doubled. All thanks to you.
Yeah. So then Moses leaves.
Yeah, and
Ramses
he gets,
decides to go on a Sunday boat trip.
yeah, Moses
down the
is getting
river.
dunked on by the Israelites. They aren't happy with him.
Very not happy.
But you get the whole river turned into blood scene as Moses tries once again, let my people go.
Yep.
And once again, you get the magicians who are like, yes, anything he
Well,
can do,
the
we
soldiers,
can do.
the soldiers come out because Ramses is like, I'm done with this. I'm tired. Go bring them to me. And so the soldiers go out into the water. God tells Moses to hold out the staff and put it into the water. And then the water turns into blood. The entire river turns into blood, except for the little small part that Moses is standing in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that the soldiers are
panic.
freaking out.
They run back to the boat.
They're
One
like,
of them trips
"What's
and
this
falls
red
in the
stuff?"
water. He's
Yeah.
It's completely
his eyes are
covered.
probably going to be messed up for the rest of his life.
He turned blind right after that. He couldn't do his work anymore. So
Then,
he got fired.
Ramses gets his magicians to explain this, and they're all like, yes, anything he can do, we can do better.
Yeah. Wouldn't that have been interesting? Just those two break out into song right there on the boat. Like, we have to keep up the show for Ramses.
Yeah, Ramses cuts them off. You get one song per movie.
They're like, oh, sorry. By the power of Ra, poof, turns the water in the bowl to red.
That's where we get our next song, The 10 Plagues.
Yeah, this is where things.
It's another
Really heat up.
montage sequence of watching locusts and frogs and fire and darkness and livestock dying and
People are panicking in the streets.
the liver spots appearing on them.
Yes, you're watching the wonders of God.
Oh, yeah, God said to Moses, do what I say and you'll see all my wonders.
And after this, Moses was like, I think we need to talk about your terminology. Wonders or horrors?
Yeah, it's every time I hear in the Bible, it's like, fear the Lord. This is the scene that gets drummed up in my mind.
Very much so. It's like, yeah.
And the song's great,
Locusts,
too.
frogs, bugs.
It begins with this
everything.
soft hissing chanting. It gets louder and louder. And you actually get that, the scene opens with the same arrival of Moses arriving at the palace.
I don't know if you guys ever learned, but I learned that hissing chanting is a mix between since you refuse and thus says the Lord.
Oh,
I think I could pick that up.
I don't think I got
It
it.
was just very hint, like very subtle as it slowly
Just they're both
picked
singing
up,
at the same time.
and then it breaks off into the verse, and then
that's
it
when you
picks up
get
into
like
the
a
chorus.
swarm of frogs that just completely invade the palace.
Well, it's at the chorus where it's like you just get this whole swarm of the bugs flying around the palace. You've got all the facial features that just expressing panic, like full on freaking out. You've got smallpox happening or whatnot, like breaking out into hives, I think.
Oh, yeah. And as the song goes, you get a reprise of an earlier song, All I've Ever Wanted, where Moses is singing like, this is my home.
Yeah.
Is this what I wanted? And he's badgering Ramesses with your stubborn heart. And then Ramesses gets a part of the song to sing too. So this is also very theater where they'll get a duet going on and they'll go back and forth and Ramesses is singing.
Let my heart be hardened.
Yeah, like, doesn't matter how high the costs will go. I'll never let your people go.
Yep.
And you get the visuals cutting back and forth. So it's definitely one of the high points in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you've got scenes in there too where Ramses is going back to Hotep and Hoi to ask for an explanation, and those two are scratching and trying to put balms on their on their hives and stuff like that. And it's just got all this chaos happening in Egypt as the plagues occur.
Yeah, so as the song ends, you're left with just one of the Egyptian monuments just collapsing.
Yeah.
Just that low
Darkness
shadow
falls
falling over it.
Egypt.
Moses goes up to Ramesses one more time, and Ramesses is sitting on one of the statues of the Pharaoh right in his lap, just like his father.
It's the same image from before.
Mirroring the scene following them getting chewed out by the Pharaoh, where...
Yeah, what Nick said.
Yeah, so they do still keep up that relationship with Moses and Ramesses. Like, even here, Moses is able to get Ramesses to soften up as they're reminiscing on the old days. It's like, why can't things be like they used to be? And then Ramesses' son comes in. It's like, what's he doing here?
That kid had to interrupt a
Isn't he the one responsible for all of this?
Yep. Ramses' heart's hardened again.
Yeah, and then he says this, which is interesting because it's like, it is, quote, it is God who originally says it, but it's kind of cathartic when Ramesses says it. It's, there shall be a great cry in all the land of Egypt, such as there has not been before, and such as shall never be again. So
Yep, as Ramses is about to conduct what his father had done before him.
Yeah, planning on doing another dealing with the Israelites.
And Moses is like, I warned you.
Yeah, the last plague's
After this,
coming.
I'm going to say I told you so.
Yeah, so they put up the blood over the doorposts, and then we get this brilliant shot of the white light as
Personally,
the angel of
my
death.
favorite scene in the entire movie is just like that sequence, and especially as the camera pulls out, showing Egypt and all the dark clouds and the white mist circling up it back into the sky, receding, basically symbolizing he's taken all these souls and they're gone.
It's a very quiet scene. Nothing plays over it. All you hear is the hissing of breath being pulled out, and there's no illusions about what's happening. You hear it.
Oh yeah, no. When you see the child's hand, it drops and it just lays
right
there
out
in
in
the
the
doorway.
doorway.
Sound of a jar cracking.
Yep.
Not just cracking, breaking.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. Right.
And then that scene leads into a Ramses mourning over his own son. Moses comes in to try and console him, but Ramses isn't having it. He just tells him to take his people and go.
Get out. Go. Done enough damage. Leave.
So there's I don't know if enough time was put in between that and the next song we get. There's some moments of Moses walking by himself before he's joined by Miriam and Zipporah, where then they sing.
You
When
get
You
a moment where
Believe.
Moses straight up breaks down after walking away from that scene.
Yeah, there's that moment, breaks down, and then they start leaving, and then you get the whole scene of like all the people, all the Hebrews leaving Egypt, and then they break out into song.
Yeah, the song starts out pretty slow and soft, and it slowly grows and grows, kind of like trying to pull you out of such a heavy scene as you're like, no, things are getting better, things are getting better.
The
And
people are free.
yeah, they get all the way up to the Red Sea, where then you get the chariots of Egypt come to run them down.
but then God. So
immediately that pillar of fire. You have
Nope.
something?
Well, I was going to keep talking about the song.
No. Okay.
Do you have anything? Go
Yes,
ahead.
I actually have things for this song because this song also has a Hebrew language part.
I did pick up on that.
And I just so happen to have what's the word I'm looking for?
Translation?
Yes, that word. So this happens to be what they call a bridge in the song. So again, can't really.
Sing.
You just have to listen to this. Just watch the movie and you'll hear the song, or just look up the song. But it reads, "I will sing to the Lord, for He has triumphed gloriously. Who is like you in the heavens, O Lord? Who is like you, glorious in holiness? In your mercy you lead the children you have redeemed. In your love you lead the people you redeemed. I will sing, I will sing, I will sing." So, from what I gather, it's the Hebrew children are singing a condensed version of the Song of the Sea, quote, which can be found in Exodus 15, 1 through 18. So, really cool to find out about that. Include that
Indeed.
into the song, which is awesome.
Well, that does.
So then back to the whole
Yeah, they reach
Back
the
to
Red
column
Sea,
of fire.
and then the
Preventing
Egyptians
the
show
Egyptians.
up. But column of fire shoots out and starts.
Another S tier animation that happens.
Yeah, that would not, I mean,
crosses a
especially
line.
nowadays, like if they were to try to do this movie in live action, it would be so
You know,
bad.
they've had several movies come out for Exodus, and they all suck.
Yes.
And this is a very academic word here.
Do you think it would be better if they were to take this movie and turn it live action, just beat for beat, every frame for frame, all live action,
What would
I
be the
don't think
point?
so.
You already have
just
it.
to make it live action? But yeah, I know. What is
And
the
you
point?
can't even maybe
I mean,
we should
Because
make
that's
it more like the
essentially
source
what they did
material.
with How to Train Your Dragon, and even then,
Well, I don't know because I haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon live action yet. We haven't reached
And what a blessing
the very
that must be.
ending.
I mean, like, I've heard reviews on the live action How to Train Your Dragon, and I think one of the biggest thing that like people don't like about it or that's been criticized is that the line delivery. They remade the movie bit by bit, but the line delivery just isn't the same.
Who do you guys think should play Moses in the live action movie?
So, anyways, as the fire is holding off the Egyptians, the sea, Moses steps forward, holds up the staff, and the sea splits in another incredible shot of animation. The way that water just completely shoots up on either
A
side.
lot better done than in the first with the basket.
Yeah, look, the water didn't look bad. It's just a basket.
That's because
on the
I'm
water
pretty sure
looked
it was
bad.
actually layered from what I was gathering and that information wise. It was a lot of layered animation sequence for that water. And it looked tremendously beautiful in watching it.
Yeah, so the Israelites proceed through the trench. And, you know, they managed to do a little bit more with this. It's not just they're walking through and now the Egyptians are chasing them. It's like, you know, you can give you fish inside the water. You know, there's kind of like flash
Yeah, I
lights.
think
It's beautiful.
Yeah, everything. It's like you've got the ambient sounds, you got the water. I think you still had the water sounds. You see this giant whale going in.
It still doesn't look like
you
a
still
whale.
had like the lightning, which was flashing up above. And you're thinking that it's like, no, it's a whale because of the tail.
It's a very
the shape and
miraculous
everything.
scene watching it all play through.
It had more of a rounded head. The sharks had more of a pointed nose. You're just not
Maybe.
seeing that right.
Look, it was probably a reference to the fish that swallowed Jonah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Which was a whale, Nick.
Well,
Not a
it's only
megalodon.
ever described as a fish.
This is true.
It's a really, really great fish. So even the whales are looking at it like, ooh, you should lose some weight.
Mostly water.
Yep.
So eventually the fire goes away and the Egyptians start running again because, you know, God was just goading them like, you can make it.
You can do it. Go. I'm not going to collapse the water on you.
Yeah, the Israelites have to book it across the rest of the way. They get out of there as the water, the water starts coming down. They wash out the Egyptians. Ramesses, of course, is pushed back to the safety of the shore so that we can look at his
survive.
army that's been completely decimated. And, you know, they still keep up that relationship with him.
Yeah,
even
I'm
as
pretty
Moses
sure
is,
that scene is supposed to mirror, of sorts, their farewell after Moses accidentally killed the Egyptian, because you get the same line that Moses repeats when he said there, "Goodbye, brother."
Yeah, you get Moses is on the other side. You kind of see his brother in this faded out scene just shouting, Moses. It's one of those rare times when just shouting is the right emotional moment. Not like some other characters are like, no. Well, the movie does.
Harvey, no.
Yes, there's that one too. The movie kind of fades to black, making you think it ends, but it comes back with Moses with the
Ten Commandments.
which is kind of where they want to take the film anyways, but runtime they didn't have enough. You know, after the emotional height, the climax of the Red Sea, there wasn't a point to keep on going for that. But they were really wanting to get to the 10 Commandments movie where it's like, yes, Moses with the 10 Commandments. But, and the movie.
So you had the
movie.
scene coming down, had 10 Commandments, and then the screen pans. So you've got the same CGI for the rocks as you did for the basket. So that was my second issue I had.
They wanted to make it look otherworldly.
It was like minor issues with the movie. And then it pans out to where you see everybody that was saved. All of the
they
people.
don't show you is what happens when Moses does come down.
Yeah,
with
it comes
commandments.
down, smashes the tablets, tells them all to knock it off, worshiping cows and such.
Yep.
Had to go up and ask God for a renew. What happened to the other ones, Moses?
I tripped.
Don't ask me.
Moses, what was one of those commandments? Don't lie.
I didn't read them. I wrote them down. All right.
All right, you
So,
got some questions for us?
Who do you guys think should watch this movie? There's correct word. There's
All of
correct
them?
one. Yep. Everyone should watch this movie. Who should avoid this movie?
None of them.
Idiots. I put idiots down.
Nobody.
Idiots and morons. Do you guys think the plot made sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was obvious. What'd you guys think about the pacing?
I thought the pacing was good. I mean, they managed to get to each and every spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought those balances good, really well done. What'd you guys think about the ending? Was it satisfying or unsatisfying?
I was satisfied.
Yeah, I can't complain with it.
Think about the arcs, character arcs, strong, weak, in between.
The strongest throw line you get is Moses and his brother Ramses.
Yeah.
It's not like Zipporah gets anything. It's not like Aaron and Miriam
No.
really get anything. Like Miriam at least gets a moment where she's reuniting with Moses. Aaron, it's weird having Jeff Goldblum voice him because he doesn't do any of his Goldblum's.
Yeah.
He doesn't do any of that, In Jurassic Park, he kind of made that his staple of like, well, you found this thing and you didn't know what it was, but you took it and you sold it and you sold it. And, that was kind of his gig after that. So
Yeah.
it's nice that he didn't do that for this movie. But then it's like, well, why is he in here aside from just, Jeff Goldblum was Jewish at the time? I think that was the only reason they had him in that movie.
Yeah, as of right now, it's like, he doesn't
It's kind of a
practice and
between
he's
stuff,
not.
isn't he?
I don't think he is. I haven't seen anything about it lately or recently, and I don't know what the interviews were or when they came from, but it sounded like he's no longer practicing, and he goes on that whole carpe diem philosophy, which is seize the day. So, what do you guys think about the humor?
The humor was sparse and well handled. I think the weird thing is I don't think Steve Martin and Martin Short work as the magicians because aside from the song they get, I think their voices are kind of out of place. Anytime they're
mean, out of
talking, I'm like,
place?
I'm not sure those voices really work for you guys. And then they're singing their songs like, all right, that works pretty well. And then they're out of their song and it's like, I kind of feel this is off.
I thought they felt right for their characters. Or maybe it felt ironic because you had like Martin Short has more of a higher pitched tone. So you'd almost think that would be the fatter guy. But he plays the skinnier guy.
Maybe if they had
Skinnier,
different
tall guy,
character
so-
designs, it might have worked for me better. Like their character designs look like they would work, and then their voices kind of look off for the character designs. So it just
Well, they also don't say a whole lot in the movie. So
Mm.
maybe,
it is
maybe
also
for
limited,
me,
so
that's
it doesn't bother me incredibly much. It's just like some of the scenes I'm like, I don't know if it really works for you guys. You guys just seem extras in a movie full of extras.
Kind of.
Even among extras, you're extras.
So what do you guys think about the score, the music? Elevate it? Was it fine? Was it too distracting?
No, I thought the score was perfect for it.
I agree.
The same. What was your guys' standout track moment?
Standout.
The 10 plagues for me.
Yeah, that's kind of a hard one.
Deliver
to
Us
beat.
would be the second one.
Yeah.
See, the Plagues, I think at one point might have been my favorite, but at the same time, my favorite, I think, has always been Through Heaven's Eyes. It just has that very upbeat, very get you up on your feet type thing.
I think it's the animation coupled with the lyrics and score for 10 Plagues that just elevates it for me.
That makes sense. So, obviously, you guys are going to rewatch this.
Indeed.
Would you guys recommend it?
I would.
Yeah.
What's the best audience range?
Audience
age
range?
range.
I don't think this would work well for little kids.
No.
I think you have to be at least 12 to be able to appreciate it.
That's fair.
Okay. I feel like you could.
I
Still
can't
be
remember
younger.
when we watched it. I
No
think we were
clue.
older. I
No
don't think we
clue.
were like 8 years old watching this.
See, I feel
I
like the
doubt
first
it.
time I watched this
Trying
was
to think of-
probably younger.
What would we have been watching when we were like 8?
Shrek.
Probably.
But I feel like I recall watching this and Road to El Dorado as younger, and being younger, I might not have like been able to comprehend the entire movie here, but I could enjoy the songs. So then, what do you guys think overall, animation wise? So that way we don't go
Very well
throughout
done.
this whole
The
paper.
animation is definitely going to be the high point for DreamWorks until we get to like Kung Fu Panda and Puss in Boots 2. This is going to be peak for quite a few years.
Oof. But yeah, that's also good.
Are
I
you
mean, this
seeing-
movie did win the Sound Award, I believe.
I know it won an award for the song.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the reward was called.
You saying you don't like the animation Kung Fu Panda and Puss in Boots 2?
I'm saying this is going to be peak until those movies.
Oh, you're talking about this specific
Yes,
movie. is
so
Yeah,
what
like
Chris
Prince of
is saying,
Egypt.
Okay.
Prince of Egypt came out in 1998. I think Kung Fu Panda came out around like 2008. So in between all those years, you got some very mid animated movies.
Okay. I see. I got you now. I got you.
So what
That
Chris
is a
is
very
saying
fair
is that
statement.
the animation for The Road to El Dorado was poorer than this movie.
Yes, wholeheartedly.
Which I don't know about that. But we'll find out in the episode after this one.
Indeed.
And the one that came before this one was Ants.
Can't forget about it. So then, Nick, where would you rank this movie?
S tier.
Yeah, I would rank it S tier too. It goes above Secret of Nim. It's the first movie to reach S tier.
Here it is. Okay, so for me, S tier as well. This movie was just, I mean, so far, the best animated movie we have seen. It's one that I can rewatch over and over and over and over again, and it would not get tired of it. I would be all like, it's coming through Heaven's Eyes, it's coming. And then we're going to hit the 10 plagues shortly after. So the awards I saw, it won Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Animated Feature. Which is not about the song. I guess, I think.
They got the best original song for When You Believe.
Yeah. So that, I think, concludes our episode here. We'll just close out in song. What song do you guys want to pick?
I don't know.
Oh, you guys are going to pick different songs, are you?
And you know, there's just one song that's been in
suppose.
my head for like the entirety of this episode.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just sing whatever you guys want to. Whatever. You could start now if you feel like it.
Because we're playing with the big boys now.
Man, I'm just going to break into that one, aren't I?
Playing with the big boys now.
Every spell and gesture
Shows you who's the best.
You're playing with the big boys now.